I spent £360 on Philips Hue devices over the last 5 years. Today I'm going to share with you how I use these devices and if you should buy them in 2021. But first, let's roll the intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Gio from Smart Home Makers, and in this channel we do smart home projects and smart home gadget reviews. All the devices that I mentioned in this video I've purchased myself, and you'll find a link in the description below with mykit.co, where you can go and find out the latest prices on Amazon. In total, I have 12 Philips Hue light bulbs in my smart home, 3 motion sensors, 2 smart switches, 1 LED light strip, and 1 play bar. There's a price difference between the white bulbs and the colored bulbs. So in the places where you don't think you're going to need color, then stick with white and save some money. I've done the same thing in my hallway, in my landing, in my bedroom. But in my living room, when I want a bit of a special effect, I've got colored bulbs over there. I've also got 2 E14 bulbs for my lamp. So why did I actually buy these devices in the first place? So the first few devices that I bought were in 2016. This was before I knew anything about Home Assistant, and this was before many other competitors actually launched their own products. So Philips Hue was a well-known brand and had a good user interface and was quite reliable. Also, you could find them easily on Amazon and in my local stores here in the UK. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I run Home Assistant and I've got many other motion sensors from different vendors. However, the motion sensor capability within Philips Hue is so easy to set up. At a certain time of the day, it triggers a night light, and at certain times of the day, it triggers a full-blown light. You just set how many minutes you want it up and running, and what's the sensitivity of your motion sensor. Once you've placed it in place, you're good to go. Battery life on these motion sensors are really good. I only had to change the battery only once. These motion sensors, however, are on the pricier end of the spectrum, and they're also quite big compared to the competition. The wireless switches have been used quite a lot in my smart home. One of them is placed close to my bedroom, so that allows me to control the light without actually getting off the bed, and that's saving me some money in getting an electrician to wire a physical switch. You can pull them off the wall and you can bring them wherever you want in the house, and they're magnetic and they just clip back. Home Assistant integration is one of the easiest things you can actually do. It's a breeze, it's auto detected, and you only need to tap on the bridge once to get them all synced up. However, you can't use things like the switches like any other button. They are triggered based on a device event, so it's a little bit more complex to control. Philips Hue has many competitors in the market nowadays. One of the most famous ones is LifeX. I've got a couple of LifeX bulbs. One is sitting right up here. The LifeX bulbs are Wi-Fi controlled against the Zigbee bulbs in the Philips Hue. I personally prefer the Zigbee protocol for light bulbs because it works a lot better when you have a smart switch associated to it. Last year, I actually looked at the little range of light bulbs and I purchased some of those to put them in the same room with my other Philips Hue bulbs. And the problem with the little bulbs was that the actual color, they weren't actually matching. So when in Home Assistant, I was asking it to turn the lights blue in the same room, the actual type of blue that will come to the device will be slightly different. And you would notice it when you have like them in one lamp. So hence I've decided to take the little ones out and just stick with the Philips Hue, as they were the majority in that room. I also checked out a lot of devices from Ajax online, really good motion sensors and other sensors and bulbs that you can use at a much better price than what Philips Hue can give you. Same for many other vendors that are out there. Take a second to hit that like button if you're enjoying this video. Now, should you buy Philips Hue? Let's answer that question. If you meet these 3 conditions, then I would recommend Philips Hue for you. Condition number 1, you have a high enough budget that will allow you to buy any number of bulbs to cover all of your home without actually worrying about the cost of them. There are good reasons why Philips Hue is a good buy, but because they are expensive, if you're looking at the trade-off of one bulb being £30, for example, you could purchase 2 bulbs for £15. Bulbs are durable, I've had them for years and they do work really well. The second condition is that you are intending to use the Philips Hue app. So a lot of the cost of these devices is not just the hardware of the device, but also the upkeep of the software, so the application on your mobile phone. The application for me is one of the best applications there in the market to control lights and motion sensors. To have a similar Home Assistant dashboard will take a lot of effort and know-how, but with Philips Hue you can get that up and running quite quickly, and I like the look and feel of the app. The third one is the availability of this product in local stores. So we know Philips Hue is a well-known brand, and in many of the famous department stores you can go pick them up quite easily at the same price, for example, of buying them online. Other niche vendors are online only, so you have that little bit of shipping time delay, and all of them are on Amazon or they have sufficient stock. So that could be another consideration of why you want to go with Philips Hue. Now let's talk about the reasons why you should not buy Philips Hue. First of all, if you're on a tight budget, if you're really on a tight budget, then the cost of the Philips Hue bulb and the return that you get from it is not really going to be worth it if you're just looking at the hardware and you just forget about the app. So I would recommend in your case to go with something like Ajax Online or other vendors that you can find on Amazon. I would still go with a Zigbee bulb, that's my preference. But if you want to, you can try and go with a Wi-Fi bulb if you're only trying to go with one bulb and you don't want to buy a bridge. Second reason why you should not buy Philips Hue is because you intend to use Home Assistant. So if you are really going to go with Home Assistant full on, you don't really necessarily need to go with Philips Hue. First of all, you're not going to be using the app much because you'll be using Home Assistant anyway. So you don't get those advantages, and some of the money that you are paying for Philips Hue goes into the app, as I mentioned. Second of all, you can have multiple vendors in one app. Now, what I would do is I would always stick to one vendor, one bulb vendor for each room. So you don't want to mix and match like I've done, because the colors will be different and that will bother you, or at least it bothers me. The third reason is that you want to use a Wi-Fi bulb. I mean, if you really want to use a Wi-Fi bulb, then Philips Hue is not going to work for you. Let's talk about my situation. Why do I keep using them even if I have Home Assistant, right? I have all these bulbs. Why am I not throwing them up and just replacing them with something cheaper? Well, I'm going to give you my 4 reasons why I'm going to keep using Philips Hue for the future. First reason is I like to have a consistent approach with colors in the same room, as I mentioned before. Second one, it's a reliable and durable product. I've had them for 5 years and I've had no issues with them at all. They rarely go offline, if ever. There's no need to reboot. I don't need to go in the app to do anything with the motion sensor. The motion sensor doesn't magically unpair. It's just super reliable and you actually forget that you have them. The only time it doesn't work is the obvious point when someone just kills it at the switch. And the fourth reason is because it's super easy to set up motion control. It's like set it up, it's foolproof. If you're looking forward to more tips, then remember to subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to leave you with this video over here with my long-term review of Hue products. Go check that out and then make your decision between these products or Hue products or other vendors. This was Gio from Smart Home Makers. See ya. Ciao.